So I should be in bed. I should be trying to sleep. I should be sleeping. I'm tired. But I'm here. Because I'm just fucking feeling. Just feeling things. And trying so hard not to judge it. Because there's enough layers of that here. I know that what is being felt is being generated by thought patterns. Thought patterns that have inhabited me for a long time. So they've got momentum. They've got history. They're patterns. And I know that they're not me and they're not mine. And they would like very much for me to be disturbed by them, because that generates identification, I guess. That's a reaction. They want a reaction. They want a response. They don't want to just be seen. They want me to try to do something. To try to change them, but because that's resistance, and that keeps them around. So there's the trick, is in not resisting them, feeling them, and accepting that they're there without attaching to them, without identifying with them, but not pushing against them either. It's one of those strands of unworthiness. And there's the guilt of even thinking too, I shouldn't be feeling this. I shouldn't be feeling this way. But that's just more judgment. It really doesn't change anything there. It's just there. It's just feeling. And so much of it I know is old. It's old emotion. It's old stuff that was stuck. And now it's coming loose. And it doesn't appear to be related to the present, because it's not. It's not. It has no correlation. It's just old crud that's come unclogged and is passing through now. And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. And this feeling too of like, aren't we done with this? Shouldn't we again? Shouldn't this be done? Shouldn't we be done with this? Shouldn't we just not feel this anymore? Why are these thoughts still here? Why are these feelings here? They should not be. That's the secondary level of judgment, which is just a resistance to it again. And doesn't help anything. There's that feeling of simultaneously wanting to be alone, feeling the urge, but not, really not. It's more of this feeling like I'm supposed to be alone. Like it's somehow necessary. It's not a desire. It's just how could I possibly be held in this? That's the thought. But it's wanted. It's wanted to be held in this. And I know that I am, too. And then that is upsetting to these identities, id entities. Because they don't want to be accepted. They don't want to be seen. They thrive on continued unconsciousness and unawareness and rejection and resistance. And so for me to see and accept them, that's frightening enough. To be seen and accepted by another in all of this, that's just too much for them. There's just been anxiety, I suppose. There is a little bit of that dissociation, or maybe a lot of it. Less, I suspect, than I think, because I am feeling this. I am here. I am in this moment feeling this. And that's what I want. This is what I want. But there was some time earlier when it did feel like I kind of got pushed out. And instead of acknowledging that, I tried to sort of move through it. I was trying to ground, to get back in, trying not to panic, not to react, not to respond. But I think I kind of ended up ignoring it in a way, and it just heightened the panic. Trying not to panic, resisting the panic, made it more. Surprise. And then I ended up in this just kind of weirdly agitated place of just clearly making it harder for myself, clearly in a place of resistance where I was generating my own discomfort. Instead of just leaning into what is and accepting it, I was fighting it the whole way. Not happy about it. And I'm still there a little bit, but I'm wanting to witness all of that and recognize it, at least. And how easy it is in that state to make decisions that aren't really based on desire. They are based more on fear or a feeling of necessity, a fear of what if I don't do this? And because of that fear, I'm just going to do it. But that's not a reason to do. That's not a reason to do. Being afraid of what happens if you don't is not a reason to do. That doesn't feel good. Ultimately, those are the things that I end up feeling a sort of regret about. And it's not a guilty kind of regret. It's just, why did I do that if I didn't really want to? And I mean, I went to practice music tonight, and I didn't really want to. Part of me said that it wanted to, because it was afraid not to, because we have a gig tomorrow. But I didn't really want to. I wanted to just be, honestly. And so the result was I was there, but not happy about it. And so I should have just not been there. I should have just, shouldn't, that's irrelevant. But if I had been following desire and really been of benefit to anyone, I would have just not gone at all. And so there's that feeling. And then the feeling of having run from the anxiety and the dissociation, and again, it's not a should or shouldn't have, but I was doing that because I was afraid of it, because I didn't want it there. I was afraid of it. I was afraid of feeling it. I was afraid of letting it be seen. And so I tried to just look away from it. I tried to just to just pretend that it wasn't there. And that didn't feel good either. And so there is the feeling of just having gone against myself. And that doesn't feel good. Again, it all is what it is. There's no point in regretting anything, but in light of recent discussions, I feel it's important to point these things out to myself and acknowledge this is how I feel the difference between guilt that is created by ego. It was guilt that drove me to do the things that I ended up regretting, right? I'm using these words and they mean lots of things to lots of people. I'm using them and defining them in a very specific way that is personal to me and my experience. I am using the word guilt specifically to define the feeling that results from ego's involvement and drives fear-based action in a lot of cases in an attempt to manipulate or prevent, which is manipulation, someone from feeling some type of way or thinking something about me or perceiving me in whatever way that they might. And that fear, that feeling of guilt of, oh no, I don't want them to think poorly of me or whatever it is, so I'm going to do this because I'm afraid of what happens if I don't. Because they might think something about me, so I do it. But I don't do it because it feels good. And then having taken that action, that's when I feel what I am defining as regret and calling different, because as opposed to guilt in this context in which I am defining these words, I feel regret as I took an action that was not truly in alignment with my desire, which is myself. Myself guides me by desire. Myself guides me by good feeling. If I'm not following the good feeling, I'm not following myself. If I'm running from bad feeling, that's not following myself. And it just takes me further from it. And of course, in all of this, the self, the soul, is not judging any of it, isn't mad about any of it, isn't saying, why didn't you stand up and follow me? That's not what it's saying. It's never saying that. And it's not guilting. It's not judging. It's not saying, well, you should have done this. There's none of that there. That's not how the soul works. It's just the feeling within me and that awareness that it doesn't feel good to have gone against myself. To have taken action that wasn't in pursuit of desire, but was taken in trying to escape some sort of discomfort instead. Instead of leaning into the discomfort and saying, I am going to do what I want anyways. I'm going to do what feels right to me anyways. Even if it feels uncomfortable because it paints me in a certain light. Perhaps it leaves me exposed, vulnerable to judgment, to rejection, to whatever it is. I'm going to do it anyway because I do it for me. So now I'm sitting with that. And just feeling all sorts of weight. And ego feeling very small, which I shall let it be. I shall let it feel diminished, knowing that I am not diminished, I am not small. Oof. Knowing that I am worthy, that just turned into emotion. Knowing that I am worthy, knowing that I am well, truly, in this. I am well and worthy in this. I am loved in this. Accepted, appreciated, exactly as I am right now. And this awareness that, oh my, isn't this a production? Isn't this a lot of drama? There is a thing in me which loves theatrics, but also just is acknowledging that all of this is important. It's not to be ignored. Certainly not. It's not to be ignored or played down, and definitely not repressed. It is to be invited and seen, witnessed, expressed. That is good, that is right, that is as it should be. And I can play with this even. That's what I'm doing. I don't have to take seriousness so seriously. I can just let it be. I can let it be serious if it wants to be. I can let it play that role. I can let it have fun with that. I can let it have fun with seriousness. There's a strong desire to be held. And so I'm just holding that. I'm holding that desire. I am holding myself in the light of love and acceptance. I am knowing that I am held. And I'm getting very tired, so I should probably just wrap this up and go to bed. I don't know what it is I am wrapping. Oh, what a thing it is. What a thing it is to be in this human experience. And how many more wonderful opportunities do I have to love myself unconditionally for everything that I am, all that I am in this moment, witnessing the judgment of my being, becoming aware that it's not the soul that's judging, that the soul's not judging the judgment either. All of it is allowed. So just finding that place where I can surrender and say that nothing needs to change. Nothing in this moment needs to change. Everything is good. I am good. All I want is to feel good. And I don't need anything to change in order to feel good. I can just love and accept myself right now, the way that I am, and that feels good. And then I am feeling good, removed from any potential change or lack thereof. Just feeling good because I want to, for no good reason except the best reason of all, which is pure desire. Just because I want to. That is the reason to do. Just because you want to. Because it feels good. Because it inspires you. Because it moves you. Because it satisfies something deep in you. Because it nourishes you. That's the reason to do. Really just because you want to. That's why I'm doing this. It's not to affect some change. It's not to create an outcome. It's just because it felt like the thing to do. So I'm doing it. And I suppose now the thing to do feels like sleeping. So we will do that. And see that there has been no wrong, there has been no error, there is no mistake, and there is no flaw. All is exactly as it should be. I am loved and accepted in this moment exactly as I am. Everything continues, as it always does, to work out for me, for my highest good, my highest joy. There is only good that comes from this. And I am safe. I am secure. I am held in the light of love. I am held by self in more than one form. But right now, most importantly, I am holding myself. I am both flowing and allowing the love to flow over me. Both delivering and receiving loving acceptance. And so I will soothe myself back into the place of the knowledge of my well-being and my desire. And I will bask there and let that carry me off to sleep. Dreams into dreams. We are complete. So it is. Thank you for your witness, if you are one who has witnessed. I witness you in the presence and unending perfection of your being, exactly as it is right now, in this moment. Thank you for being. I love you.